Hello, this is Kev.
And Lil. We're discussing relationships in all of its forms and everything in between.
We've been together over 30 years. We've seen some things together and apart.
So if you want to laugh or need advice, come spend some time with Kev and Lil.
Have we met?
Hello, welcome to the Kev and Lil Have We Met podcast. If you haven't already, please follow, share, and comment. You can do so on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, and our website. They can all be found under Kev and Lil Have We Met. Please enjoy the following episode.
Hello, everybody. So this week we are talking about gratitude. Main reason for this is because this week we made over 30 years now of being together. The moment we met 30 years ago this past week, and what better time than now to talk about gratitude as far as how we met and why we met and what transpired over time, and just expressing that gratitude for each other and for other things in our lives. Um, I know I'm grateful. Just because there's meanings to it. Of course, you want to go to Webster's if you want to, or go online, or however you want to figure that out. And practicing genuine gratitude by counting your blessings daily. We could certainly go that way if we'd like. Uh, but what does gratitude mean to you?
Well, um, being grateful, saying thanks, thanking the creator for everything we have, everything we've done, everything we've accomplished. The ability to show gratitude to someone else.
Okay. All right. I mean, again, there's a lot of as I love to go into my thesaurus and find out different meanings or different versions of certain words and the synonyms, of course. And for grateful, it's giving. What have I given to you in your life? What makes you feel grateful for possibly meeting me? I mean, hey, I mean, it sort of goes without saying.
Oh,
You know what I'm
please.
saying? Uh,
The first thing that comes to mind is love. You show me love in so many ways. I'm also grateful for giving me my youngest child, my youngest boy. I'm also grateful for the extended family I have through you, extended friendships, family, like we like to say. Thankful for the assistance, the that shoulder to cry on, the companionship. I could go on and on and on. Why are you grateful for meeting me?
why am I grateful for
I
meeting
swear to God, Kevin.
you? I don't know if I could talk that dirty on
I was
here.
gonna say keep it clean.
All right. Well, jeez. Um, what can? All right. So I probably never told you this, and maybe I have told you this. I certainly haven't shared it as much with our listening family, so to speak. Um, I was in a real dark place at one point. I was. I really didn't want to, so to speak, be around anymore. If you want to talk about it, yeah, childhood was what it was, and I made it worse in my own head at times. It may not have been as bad, or maybe it was that bad, and it was just a really bad day, and you know, and I remember saying to myself the day I met you. Funny enough, yes, I remember this. I have a decent memory. I said to myself, enough was enough. I want to be happy now.
Aw.
And I think that's why I felt such a connection to you because I expressed it out loud. You know, some people have to write things down. Some people have to give themselves a mantra. Some, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
I said it to myself, in my own head, and I said, I want to be happy. I want to find someone that's gonna make me happy. And don't get me wrong. I mean, of course, it wasn't the spark the moment we saw each other. I mean, not, although there was certain things that was sparking for me, but
Obviously.
it's. I could definitely say that I took a step back and I said, yeah, I think this is the girl I want to be with.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, we
And I was
talk.
a ray of sunshine for you.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, sure. Um, I mean, you're hot. I mean, you were hot. You're still hot. You've gotten hotter over time.
Oh,
So it's like, and that's one thing for me. I mean, and I told you this too at one point. Myself and my best friend, we spoke about the perfect girls for ourselves,
I remember
and
this.
I said, and the description I gave, I tell you, was you. Was you. I mean, especially, and yeah, the deeper things or whatever it is. But as far as looks were concerned, it was like someone drew you out and put you there,
Aw,
because
that's
that's
sweet.
honestly you're the one that I was looking for. I mean, yeah, I was attracted to other girls or women, but for some reason, the girl that I always dreamt looked like you. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to get because I don't need to make stuff up to make to get it or get things. You know what I mean? But I don't need to hype
You're
you up like
stupid.
that. But you know me. I'm nothing if I'm not honest.
Mm.
And honestly, that's what it was. It definitely was that day, and I not that day that we met 30 plus years ago now. Yes, it was on the 18th of March,
March, yeah.
1995.
Oh dear God.
I know, right? Man, that feels like a lifetime ago, and for some people it was.
30 years.
You know, but yeah, it definitely was that. That let me ask you now. So, you're giving. I gave to you. What did you want to? What have you? Okay. Clearly, I talk a good game, at least now.
Don't
But what
remind.
else have you received from me that you feel like?
I just gave you a whole list of
Oh
things.
well, forget you then. Jeez, can't say.
I did. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to repeat myself because I seriously don't remember exactly everything I said. But like I said, I mean, at the time when we met, my thing was, and I think we said this in our previous episode about how we met and dating back in the day and stuff. But I was looking for uh I
You were
was
looking to
looking
get laid. You didn't want to be with nobody. You said it
No,
yourself.
yeah, I was tired of all the frogs. And this is another thing I said in that episode. I kissed so many frogs and I just didn't want another frog in my life, especially being that I had my 7-year old son to think of. And I was like, I'm just gonna go out there, have some fun. And I I wanted to be with someone that took us, me and my son, as we're a package deal, and I wanted someone that wasn't there just to get laid or just to spend the
Maybe not
time.
just
And
maybe not just to
I
get
wanted
laid, but it was.
excuse me,
I'm sorry. Go
you're
ahead.
mumbling. What are you saying?
Nothing, nothing, nothing at
Mm.
all. I was just saying that maybe not to just get laid, but shoot, that was a heck of a bonus.
You're such an ass. I swear you're such an ass. But yeah, I was looking
Still
for
is.
someone, and that's why when he mentioned in that previous episode how we met, that I right away mentioned my son. Like he knew I was single, but I came with luggage, with pack baggages, with baggage, and I was looking for someone that would be there for both of us, not just for me.
Yeah, yeah. I know. You told me. I remember you telling me some of those stories of
Hmm.
one or two of those guys that you dated before me,
Yeah.
and that was unfortunate. That was unfortunate that that my boy had to go through that crap too. But you know, so all right. So we know we're grateful for one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know we're grateful for one another.
We're grateful for our family, our
We
kids, our grandkids.
yeah. So have you shown gratitude to others other than me? You know that are in our lives now. Like, do you feel that you show them how thankful you are for them, or or do we show it enough? And
Well,
do we see it enough from others?
well, besides saying thank you, like physically, like verbally saying thank you, we don't have enough people saying thank you. A lot of people take people for granted. And for instance, the dumbest thing, somebody's walking ahead of you or behind you, whatever, and they hold open the door for you. So many people just walk through and don't even bother saying thank you. That pisses me off. That person didn't have to hold the door open for you. At least be kind and say, "Oh, thank you. Have a nice day." It doesn't take very much. Just the words, the two words, "Thank you." That's it.
Yeah, you could even say thanks.
Thanks. There you go. Even shorter. It takes a second, a millisecond. Well, not a millisecond, but it takes a second to just say thank. To say thanks. Writing a thank you note. That's not even. I mean, people don't even write anymore. When I say write, maybe send a text as a thank you. We don't get those very much. I mean, our friends and family, we do that, I guess.
Do we really do it enough?
Yeah, I think so. Like when I go out with my friends, I went out with my girlfriends yesterday to a brunch. And every time we go out and we do things and then we go to our respective homes, that night or the next day, we're constantly sending each other thanks. It was great spending time with you. And we appreciate each other.
Yeah, I know I don't do that enough. I'll reciprocate, but I won't initiate. I have a bad habit of doing that when it comes to thanking for a time or whatever it is.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
I
because
know
that's
I
a
have a
lot
bad
to
habit.
ask for
I
someone.
know I
Their
have a bad
time,
habit of that.
I think a person's time is so much more valuable. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, well yeah, I've said this multiple times
Yeah.
that I
And
that
then,
my time is more valuable than anything else.
yeah. And it's like, besides saying it, besides sending a thank you note, text, thank you text, whatever, letter, also acts. You act, you show someone that you appreciate that person. I see myself doing it by doing your favorite dinner or having dinner done instead of ordering out. I mean, it might seem stupid for the people, but for me, those are acts of gratitude. I like my kids. My kids used to like certain things, and I would make it for them, especially, to show gratitude for being such good kids. Oh, you got an A in whatever. Let's take you out for
Oh no, forget
pizza.
that. They're supposed to do that. We don't need to be giving them. What you know? What they're living here for free. They don't need extra whatever. That's the thing. Yeah, I think the appreciation trophies are enough. All
Okay,
right.
my thing is, I like to reward my children when they do good things, or at least saying thank you, patting them on the back. And you know what? We don't get that enough, people. We take our family, our friends for granted. Out of the blue, send them a text. Say, you know what? I appreciate you. It makes that person's day better. I mean, I probably oversaturate with my kids because I do love my babies. And then our babies, they're full grown men, but they'll always be my babies in my eye. And I send them cute
Trust me, people.
texts
If she
and
could, if she could still give them the boob, and she would.
shut up.
If she could still change their diapers, she would.
Shut up.
Which is really weird, but still.
Shut You're an idiot. But yeah, I send them, random texts, and when I speak to them, I let them know that I love them and I'm here there for them. And people like to hear that once in a while, and it makes their day. You don't know what kind of day that person's having, and they came to your mind, and you're like, what? You know what? Let me send them a text as I appreciate you. Thank you for being my friend, or thank you for whatever. Also, paying it forward. I think that's an act of
Gratitude.
gratitude. Thank you. Paying it forward. Like no, oh, I'm having such a great day, and that person held the door for me. Let me hold the door open for someone else. But then it backfires, and they don't say thank you, and then I get upset. Slam it on the face.
Yeah.
But you know, acts of kindness. It's showing gratitude for being alive, showing gratitude for having a job. I don't know. There's so many ways that we can pay it forward.
I get it. I get it. I mean, it's funny. I don't know if I told you this or you remember me doing this. So during the pandemic, because I was bored out of my freaking mind because I wasn't working. You were
I
still
was at
working, but I
work,
was home.
yes.
There was a lot of social media going on, so I was just like, all right, let me just go through. And I would see old friends on, and then I would think to myself, you know what? Let me reach out, and I did it to maybe two or three people, not a lot. Um, but I did send them messages. I don't
Hmm.
know if you know this, but I did send people you didn't know. Like there was one girl, I worked with her many years ago, um, and she was doing this amazing thing where she opened up a recreation center for kids on the spectrum,
Wow, that's wonderful.
over in Staten Island, and I
And
I
especially in Staten Island, there's so many.
yeah. And I sent her a message, and and I always preface this, especially when it's women, because I don't want them thinking, oh my gosh, he's married,
He's coming on to
he's
me,
coming
yeah.
on to me. So I always say, please don't take this other than what I'm saying. It doesn't mean more than what I'm telling you now.
Hmm.
Um, but you are amazing. Has anyone told you this?
Oh, that's sweet.
And and I wrote this thing. It was a few lines. It wasn't too crazy
Hmm.
long. It was enough just to let her know, because I've been following her, and I was just like, my goodness, to take that
That's a good
upon
human
yourself,
being, yeah.
yeah, to take that upon yourself to do this, and yeah, and I'm pretty sure she saw a need. Maybe she knew someone, or who
Hmm.
knows. I don't know the whole story. I know I could tell you that once I was done, she replied to me maybe within a day,
Mm.
and I guess maybe it really touched her because she was like, "Oh my gosh, Kevin, thank you so much."
Mm.
Sometimes I guess we don't hear about, and that was one of
We
the
don't
things I
hear,
said.
yes, we don't
That's
hear
one of the
about.
things I said. I don't know if anybody's told you this, but I feel like I need to say this to you. Um, but you're amazing. I cannot believe, and it was praise, and it was just, it was genuine gratitude just for her being a decent human
Human
being.
being, yes.
And I did this also with a guy that grew up with us as well. He had it was his second marriage. He now works for the Board of Ed for New York. Actually, he works for the union side of the Board of Ed. Um, and or it is the Board of Ed. I don't know what it's called nowadays, but for Board of Ed, Department of Education, whatever it is. The point is, he works for it. He had with his second wife, he had another child. And mind you, he was no spring chicken at this point, of course. But they had a child, and I said to him, I was like, I, I said, Ed, maybe nobody's. I don't know if anybody's telling you this lately, but brother, you I am so proud of the man you've become,
Oh, that's amazing.
because to start your life over,
Mm.
to to
You
to
have to be a strong
I
person,
mean,
yeah.
anybody that starts their life, I feel I'm proud of you no matter what.
Hmm.
We'll get to those things in the future, um but yeah, to start your life over, to start a different career. He was actually a sheriff, I believe, in Maryland at one point. And he started his life over as a teacher here in New York, and then
That's tough
he went through, oh
alone.
my gosh.
Mm.
And then he decided to go with the union side of things. And but and we've spoken once or twice since then. I saw him at a funeral not long, about a year or so ago, and we spoke about it. And he goes, "Yeah, it's tough." I said, "But dude, you're still giving the good fight." And he said to me, he goes, He goes, I didn't realize this till later in life. And he didn't have to say this, of course, but he said, you and a couple of the other guys, he mentioned friends of ours, and he goes, you and a couple of the other guys, you guys were like big brothers to us. And for you to tell me that, I'm so grateful for that. He
Mm.
goes, because sometimes you do things and you think you're doing the right thing, and maybe you're not sure, or maybe you're not hearing it enough, or maybe you haven't heard it in a while, and certain things are going bad for you at the moment. But when you hear about it, or hear from someone
Mm-hmm.
clearly,
Out of the
because
blue.
out of the
Yeah.
blue, because clearly, he and I are close. You know what I mean? I'm there for him if he needs me, but we're not like best
Mm-hmm.
friends. We're not that close, but still, I I try to, and a lot of the people I know, I always try to remind them. But you also hear that, and some people feel that it's empty promises as well. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, if you need me, I'm here. That sort of thing. But I at least I believe I'm genuinely there for most people that I tell that to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just wanted to let them know that. I just want to let them know that your actions are not going unnoticed.
Yes.
And that's a tough one for a lot of people. That
Mm-hmm.
people feel that maybe, hey, I'm getting beat
Yeah.
down every
Taken for
chance.
granted.
Take it
Yeah.
take it for granted. There goes that root word of gratitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess, but yeah, so it's just one of those things that I did do during the pandemic. There was someone else I believe I did, and unfortunately I'm a jerk right now because I don't even remember the person I said it to.
Well, I
But I
think
know
that
I was doing it to I mentioned it to a few people.
that brings me to that saying. I'm I was a churchgoer back in the day, and I still do, but back in the day,
She was
I
a
was more.
hallelujah.
I was a hallelujah. Yes, I was a church girl, like they used to call me in school. But there was a saying, and I know I think almost everyone's heard this saying: "If the spirit moves you, do you know what that means?"
Usually after I have Mexican food, the
Ay,
spirit moves
ay,
me.
ay, ay, ay. You're not funny.
I was
um if the spirit
You're mean.
moves you, it's like, when they say, I don't know what came over me, it just, something made me say it, or something made me do this, or something. Look, you might not believe, you might be a believer, I don't know, but sometimes when you feel that, what's the word I'm looking for? I hear it in my head in Spanish, but I can't
Say it
think.
in Spanish.
La inquietud.
Okay, I have no idea what that means.
When you feel like you have to do something,
The urge.
the urge, thank you. When you feel that urge to do something, like it just comes over you, like
Again,
out of the blue.
usually after Mexican, but okay.
And like you said, you were just sitting around, blah, 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 minding your own business during COVID. And then all of a sudden you felt like you had to say it. And you sent them a message or whatever. And sometimes you should just go with that flow. You should just go with that feeling. Usually, when someone comes to mind that I haven't thought of in forever, I try and reach out to them. And once again, letting them know, listen, I know you exist. Listen, I know we're all human. We all go through things. And I know people that I've sent random texts to. Excuse me. And they're like, they felt like saying like what Kevin said at one point in his life. I wanted to unalive myself, and that random text or that random message you sent me snapped me back into reality. And look, I am being, I am loved. I am being thought of. Someone out there does care, and they're grateful for that one little, what takes you, what, couple of seconds to think of a text or a message to send someone that could actually save a life. We don't know what that person was thinking or going through. And like I said, if the spirit moves you, go with the flow. Just do it. Maybe that person needed those words of affirmation, or the
Words of
show of
affirmation.
appreciation, that they're in your lives, and how they make your life so much better being in it,
I
you
mean,
know?
it's and it goes without saying too. It's the same thing as far as yeah, you're caring for others like you'd like them to care for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, you we've come across plenty of people in our lives that they're like, oh, I don't care, whatever. People are jerks. Oh, they're very negative. Usually they're quite young when they're saying stuff like that because they haven't had enough experience,
Mm.
or maybe the few experiences they've had have really soured them. Um, but again, yeah, take a step back, look at the bigger picture. It can be a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
life is a lot. Life is not easy at times. The
Mm-mm.
ones that say that it is, hey, God bless you, because trust me, it's not like that for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, and again, like you were saying, the thankfulness, showing that thankfulness to those that have done things for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And I was thinking, like with my kids, I say it to them all the time, and they might fall into deaf ears, like they say, and maybe I overdo it, I oversaturate it. So then I think, okay, let's show with a personal response. Let's show by being personal. Like, I don't know, it's gonna sound trivial or whatever, but I know they need to wash their car or something stupid like that. But for them, it's personal because they're really proud of their vehicle. They like it and they don't have the time. So I took my time and did something for them. And for them, it's something personal. You could show gratitude like that too, doing something personal for someone else.
absolutely, absolutely. It's we I go back to that book again, the five languages of appreciation in the workplace, which I did read, and we were talking about this at work, and that's of course there's words of affirmation and tangible gifts. The last one was physical touch, which we really can't do at work, but you can in its own way.
With permission.
Yeah, with permission, of course. You're not touching them inappropriately. If you can ask if you need a
Yeah,
hug.
yeah. I
Uh,
always ask, can I get a hug or can I give you a hug?
High five always works. People prefer the fist bump for whatever reason. But again, those you can get around it without being, a sleazeball, so
Mm.
to speak.
Or do those like back in the day, atta boy
Yeah, or
or atta
that
girl.
slap on the back type of thing. You know what I mean? Without breaking somebody's back, of course.
Mm.
But it's that appreciation. You're showing that appreciation for those around you, and I think that's the big thing. That's the big takeaway. Or actually, you know what's the big takeaway? The big takeaway is kindness.
Mm.
Of course, we're talking about gratitude, but kindness. And I
Mm-hmm.
think at some point we'll probably do an episode just on kindness
Yeah, acts of kindness.
because it costs us nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this before. It costs us nothing,
Yep.
but it means the world to others.
Yes, you don't know what that person's been through or is going through, and your act of kindness can make a very
Yeah,
big difference.
it could turn their whole world back right side up. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say, they could be going through something you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and because you've seen it all over the internet. You don't know what those people are going through.
Yeah,
You
especially
know,
nowadays, everything is so dark. Everything's so negative out there, and people are
yeah,
like
man, screw that crap.
hopelessness. And
Not get over it, but you know what I'm saying. It's like
you matter,
let's
yeah.
be let's be real. You know what I mean? You're and this is one of those things that it took me a long time to realize, at least before I found the biggest thing I'm grateful for, which is sitting across from me right now. Um, but you know, you you matter.
Mm-hmm.
You matter. You may not even realize what you're contributing to someone else's
You
life at
are
the
of
time.
value, yes.
And you got to remind yourself of that. You got to remind yourself that, man, who cares about the MFer that said the nasty thing to you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because guess what? There's somebody on the other side going, you know what? I love you for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And those are your true friends.
And usually,
So,
those people that come out nasty to other people is because they're going through things as well.
yeah.
So
And
they take it out on the next person, and then that person is
and
going through
it's a
stuff too, and you just making it worse for
it's a
that
bad
person.
chain reaction, and
Yeah.
it's a matter of, you know what, and it was hard for me to learn this as well, but you got to afford them some grace,
Mm-hmm.
and hope that they're not just permanently stuck in being an a-hole,
Mm.
and they, you know what I mean, that they're just turning and they're going, maybe I can get over this. I didn't mean to treat you that way, or whatever it is, and they're not using you as a punching bag.
Yeah. Paying it forward. I love it because it's a chain reaction. It just keeps on happening.
All right, so that was our word. Those were our thoughts on gratitude. Um, you know, think about who you're grateful for in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your other, your
Your home,
kids,
your
your
bed.
parents, your bed, your dog, your I don't know, your right hand, whatever it is you're grateful for, man. If for some maybe the for some might be just their left hand because they want to feel
Kevin,
that
stop it.
that
Stop
for
it.
some. Okay, sorry.
Okay, guys, I'm going to cut them off right here. And I just want to say, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If it spoke to you, please share it with someone you think that might benefit from it. Again, if you haven't yet, please visit one of our social medias or our website. They can all be found under Kev and Lil. Have we met?
All right, thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.
So thank you for listening to Kev.
And Lil,
Have we met? And here's hoping you have better relationships in your life. Goodbye.
Goodbye.